Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again. I want you to make me the next president of the United States of America. I'm speaking to all Americans. If you've ever imagined peace, that means the absence of fear, the absence of it. If you ever in your life imagined being prosperous, that means you don't have cares that's troubling you. You're able to deal with the challenges of the day, of the night, of life. Have you envisioned joy in life? That means your problems are being dealt with. And it's not a struggle, it's a joy. If you've ever thought of any of these things, make me your president, because this is what I live for. Not just for me, but for all of you. And the reason is because I want to glorify a power that's bigger than me, a power that's bigger than my mind, a power that I know that exists. It's a power that I can't see, but it has made the power obvious. And I see the world that I'm living in, and it does not depict any of the kind of things that I see. And so I'm offering it to America and hopefully to the world. It will involve your participation, but it's an easy road. You'll have to change your way of thinking. And I am the guy to do it. As far as I know, and this isn't to be racist or anything, there isn't another black man, there isn't a white man, and there isn't a woman anywhere that I know of that's capable or even imagines pulling off something as wonderful as this. To be honest, I do believe that there are some others out there. I'm not foolish enough to think that I'm the only person on earth. But as far as I know, and those few that are out there really, they know nothing of me. So if they were making a statement, it would be just as true as mine. But that is irrelevant. You here, and the power to make this change, I ask you to exercise it. You got it. Now, it's not easy. It's not easy. All of the people who have wealth, that 1%, they are not thinking about anything that I'm saying. And those are the middle class who are still trying to survive, investing, etc. They're not thinking about a word I'm saying. Those who are about to fall off the middle class into poverty like the rest of us, they are kind of listening a little bit, but not yet. And those who are living in poverty that's trying to struggle out of it, we're not really listening. That's the way it is, because that's the way we have been taught. That's the way we have been exposed in the real world. That's the way that religion and God has been taught to us in the real world, to accept this. Those who talk to us about a God that says do not accept this are all dead, because the world kills them with the wonderful people, the God-fearing people saying, well, it's okay. Those who know God know that the big churches, mega churches, and overflowing churches with billions of dollar budgets, they know this is not about God. It's all a deception. God is about love for everyone. Anybody that's talking about or settling for love for some or few is not talking about the God of all of us. They're talking about some self-made gods, some gods that serve their purpose. But I say, the God that made you, you are the ones that God is to serve. But you have to free yourself from the lie. Free yourself to be in the light of life. Now, Voting for me, trying to make sure that I become president of the United States in a world like the one we live in would be one hard thing. But I want you to know this. I do not have to be president of the United States to change the United States. All we need are people who have been born again. You cannot do this if you haven't been born again. If you're still on the track of the indoctrination that you've had all your life, if you're still sold on that, if you still think that capitalism is the greatest thing, if you still think that democracy is the greatest thing, you cannot serve here. Because God is bigger and better than democracy or capitalism. And oh yes, for those of you who might be wondering, how would this program economically reflect itself? I'm going to put it to you this way. The way it is done in heaven, they don't use money. In heaven, there's no money used whatsoever. So we could try to do like they do it in heaven and don't use money. Or, if we want to still stay somewhat worldly, then we can use money. But every worker receives the same wage. Everyone from the top to the bottom receives the same wage. Now, can you beat that? I don't think so. So ladies and gentlemen, I say to you, nobody can beat that. What do you want? Do you want this, or do you want to stay where you're at? Now is the time for you to speak. Now is the time for you to speak. If they kill me, remember, doesn't change a thing. You stand for what God shows you to be true. And the best one is the God. I'm telling you, baby, as days pass by, we see God clearer and clearer and clearer. And we see the magnificence of God. And in seeing the magnificence of God, we see how ugly and how shortcoming we are. But we also see a reflection of who we really are, the Spirit of God that lives in us, that brings us out of this quagmire to shine like the sun that we are. Bye-bye.